Welcome to SBS. We have heard that blood is thicker than water, but sometimes water is thicker than blood. Today, we have with us Ex.IG. of Maharashtra Police, Mr.SM.Mushrif. There was bumper-to-bumper traffic. It was very difficult to get this man's private audience, but here he is today. I am welcoming him. Welcome, Mr.
Thank you.
Yeah. First of all, tell me about Sri Samir Bhai Shah. Have you met him and how was your friendship? As I rightly said and quoted, that blood is thicker than water, but sometimes water is thicker than blood.
That's right. So I was in Bombay as DCP of Zone 2.
Right.
From say 1985 to 88.
Okay.
I don't remember the exact year, but sometime after a year or so, I got in touch with Samir Shah. How we got introduced, I don't recollect.
Okay.
It could be through some police officer.
Would you be so kind as to refresh your memory?
I don't recollect. We became friends, that I admit, and but
Because he always praises you without stint.
yeah, that's true. We have been friends for the last 40 years. That is a fact.
Correct.
But first, how we got introduced for the first time, that I don't remember. The other possibility could be during that period, there was a boom of these cassette movies, movies on cassettes.
And the piracy as well.
Yeah.
There were piracy mafias.
Piracy.
Right.
Piracy, even this what you can, even legal this thing.
The copyrights were stolen, hacked.
With copyrights also.
Okay.
This thing were some companies were really good.
Mm-hmm.
So they were in great demand. So through them, through one of those businessmen, I could have got in touch with him, or he could have come with some request or with some complaint, and I got introduced. But one thing is there, thereafter we became very close friends, and we have been friends till today.
So should I say that a man of great gumption and valor, a person of your caliber and trait, became friend of Mr. Samir Bhai Shah just because of pure friendship? You liked his nature. A man who is you must have seen him because you know him for the last 4 decades.
Yes.
He is a person who hurls abuses, an incessant smoker, or smokes cigarettes with fastidious intensity.
Yes.
Do you like such kind of men? Why do you like?
No, because we tried to dissuade him from such habits.
Right.
But as you know, he is very adamant.
His informalities attracted you? His informality, in fact, attracted you? Because he's very informal.
Informalities and his openness.
Yes.
So
Because yesterday night I was with Dheri Sahib and then Mr. Pardi. I interviewed them, and even their version was the same version, that he has not influenced us to work under his influence, or neither he has taken any unfair or undue advantage of your position.
That is true.
Correct?
Yeah. We were mutually helpful, as I told you.
Yeah, there was a mutual friendship, there was a mutual help. But there was nothing like misusing or using the position.
No. He never misused our positions.
He never did.
Yeah, never did.
Let me come down to the crux of the subject. You are known for a controversy that you had written or penned a book on Sri Heman Karkare, who was an ATS chief then, and your mighty pen has, the book was sold like Mirwan's Mawa cakes. But then, much sentiments were gathered, created, but there was a nonchalant approach of John Q. Public. Why did not your book, despite the fact it reached the John Q. Public, did not get the fair value of the views? Why did it fall the death plea in the apex court?
Because what happened, whatever, one thing is there, whatever I have written in the book, the facts, is based on truth and 100% truth.
No, but
No, I'm telling you the same thing.
let me interrupt and ask you one question. What do you call facts?
Facts means whatever happened really,
Yeah.
and whatever the police projected was not the facts.
Then what do you call yours? Your things can be fact and police things cannot be the facts.
Yeah, because first thing they hid was that they had the information. The IB had the information of the attack.
Your body language is the same as the, ex-commissioner of IG, then and still the same. Should I say that you are trying to trying to flag a career, or an ex-cop is trying to flag a career which he has lost long back?
Who?
By creating a sensation, your book?
No, because there is a conspiracy for that also.
Okay, I will be all ears.
Yes.
Tell me.
There is a conspiracy.
I'm all ears.
Because this Brahminic system is all pervading.
Are you a theist or an atheist?
I am atheist.
You are an atheist? Okay. Do you believe in belief system or you don't believe?
I don't believe.
All right. Come on, go ahead.
So how come this question? But I am an atheist.
Okay.
Total atheist.
Okay.
So what I am trying to tell, please complete me
Yeah, I'm not stopping you. All right.
So what I was telling, whatever I have said is based on facts.
Okay.
And whatever police have said is not totally based on facts. And I said totally, it means whatever they stated about the attack on Taj, Oberoi and Nariman House was 90% correct.
Okay.
But whatever they stated or projected in concerning CST, Kama and Rangabhavan was 100% untrue.
That is what you say, and that is what being said by some of those people.
I say I have written thrice.
Do you stick to your statement like adhesive bandage? What's the reason behind that? Because that is a commentary. Whatever you articulated was well received, but there are no proofs as such.
Because
Yeah.
I'm again
As
saying on the system.
again repeating the same thing, that it has fallen to the deaf ears of the apex court.
For that also there is a conspiracy.
What is it?
So this Brahminist conspiracy.
Okay.
Because these Brahmins have controlled all the institutions in the system. As I was telling him, there may be any government of any party, it doesn't matter to them. The Brahmin system is always there. They have controlled the whole media, especially the editorial part of it. Maybe print media, maybe electronic media, maybe digital media. They have controlled it totally. They have controlled the intelligence system totally. So, what I say, in fact, I'll tell you one thing. This book was published at least in 14 states in India. Everywhere there were a lot of crowd and they received it very well. But none of these functions were well published.
You mean to say that IB is more powerful than any government? Is it an invisible government to control the government?
Yeah, it is.
Because it was a time of Congress, because as you say, Brahmanwadi Sangatnas.
That's why I'm saying it doesn't matter. In Congress they are many more happy.
Why do you say that?
Because Congress doesn't belong to their ideology. So they could pressurize Congress like anything. But BJP belongs to their ideology, so they have little problem in pressurizing them.
Then I should quote it as Mr. Ramjet Malana, the greatest criminal lawyers of the world, in fact, has said that preservation of the purity of whole judicial system is of highest importance, but there is another quote which always says that lawbreakers are more clever than lawmakers. Do you want to take the second quote?
I
You're
get it.
calling intelligence bureau is more powerful than any government.
Yes, yes, yes.
How could you say that?
Yeah, I can say that because especially IB.
All right. So
Especially
your
I-
approach towards intelligence bureau is little biased.
It's not bias.
Okay.
It is based on facts. Because
It's based
intelligence
on
bureau,
facts.
you know, when it was established,
No, not. You please acknowledge
it was
me on
established
that.
in 1887.
Yeah. Enlighten me on that.
And that was created. There was no intelligence agency before that.
Okay.
Only police force was there. But when there was a freedom movement picking up, so the government here, the East India, what was that company? East India Company.
East India Company.
Yeah, they thought we should have some
Yes.
this thing.
Right.
But by 1887, the East India Company had already given the powers to the Queen.
Correct.
So Queen was controlling India in 1887. So when the Queen thought there has to be some intelligence agency, she sent a telegram saying a cell is being created in India to collect intelligence
Okay.
about these activities. And that is the source of their creation.
You mean to say that Queen has influenced and Queen has brought this institution?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Queen wanted information
Yeah.
and the Queen has collected and the Queen has started this bureau,
Yes,
correct?
yes.
And now it is an influential bureau.
Yeah,
Which
influence-
cannot be destroyed, disturbed or dissolved. There is a serious influence of this bureau on any government. That is what you are trying to quote.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Let me come down to
after-
Hemant Karkare case again. You said,
No, first,
Okay.
let me complete this.
Yeah.
Then,
yeah,
after this constitution came into being, all other institutions, maybe CBI, CISF, everything was re-established.
okay,
Fresh orders were issued. So, but this IB was not re-established. It continued as it was. IB has no manual of its own.
okay.
There is
There is no
method-
manual as such.
There is no manual.
You mean to say there is a
Their-
method in their madness?
Their duties and responsibilities have not been laid down anywhere.
So there are no morality. You mean to say that they have lost
Yeah.
morality and ethics? They have in fact scattered all morality and ethics to the wind,
Yeah.
according to you.
So there are many public interest litigations were filed both in the High Court and Supreme Court to make it responsible to the Lok Sabha, at least the Parliament.
Then why it's not happening? The
It will
government,
not have,
yeah, even after changing the government, it's not happening. Even after the government not changed, in the Congress tenure, it has not changed. So nature of your allegations or whatever you're saying, it sounds like sometimes an excuse to me. Are you fabricating some lies or you're knowingly lying?
No, it's not, I'm not lying. This is because they know the secret information of everybody.
You need to say that it is being secret information they want.
Yeah.
That's the reason they are keeping quiet.
And they have the information in respect of all the individuals,
Great.
maybe in politics or in judiciary or anybody.
They can fathom anyone?
Yes, they can.
So you mean to say that they have developed the sixth sense of fathoming people?
Yes.
Correct?
Okay. And so nobody takes panga with them.
Is that nobody can mess with them?
No, nobody can mess.
But how did you mess with them?
Because I have brought on record such things which they have never dreamt of.
Okay.
If somebody will so publicly reveal their misdoings or misdeeds. The most important thing was where they missed. They received this information, specific information of Mumbai attack, but they did not share it with the government. They did not share it with the Western Naval Command.
But why did not then the government took an action and there was no judicial action? They would have made Intelligence Bureau as a party. Why it did not happen, according to you? Because this is a
Because the mastermind of this whole conspiracy was a person who was working at a very high position
correct.
in the office of the Prime Minister.
You mean to say the Prime Minister office has influenced?
No, no,
change the
not at
version?
all, not at all.
No, not at all. Okay.
But Prime Minister office got scared because if this information was disclosed,
Oh.
then Prime Minister's office and the Prime Minister himself will be
The position will be little awkward.
awkward.
Right.
So they tried. There was a. Do you know there was an investigation? There was an inquiry of this matter.
Yes.
Who conducted this inquiry?
You acknowledge me on that. You put light on that.
The then
I'm all ears.
then cabinet secretary, Mr. Chandrasekhar, conducted this inquiry.
Nice. Okay.
Then, doesn't matter.
Okay.
So he conducted this inquiry. He brought all these facts on record.
I should call you a man of lion's heart because whatever you're speaking with an open mind and you don't have
Yes,
any
yes.
sort of fear, any sort
And
of,
I'm telling you,
you're not feeling jittery or jumpy when you are making, when you're slinging, when you're making allegations, when you're making.
you are not allowing me to complete.
Yeah.
That is the problem.
Okay.
So that time, Mr. Shivraj Patil was the Home Minister.
Okay.
So when, after this incident, I have to tell you since beginning, this information was first received by American agency.
Okay.
They informed the RAW. They informed the RAW, this is on 18th of November 2008.
Okay.
They informed the RAW that Pakistan's elitist boat with terrorists is going to Bombay to attack some hotels.
Oh.
And their present longitude and latitudes are such and such.
That's great.
So you please take action.
Okay.
That was the information received by RAW from the American agency. RAW thought, yeah, RAW is an intelligence not for internal purposes, it is for external foreign countries.
I know. Yeah.
They thought it is not our BB. It is IB's domain.
Responsibility. Yeah.
So what they did, they passed this information on to IB next day. That is on 19th of November 2008.
Okay.
They informed this boat has already started.
Okay.
They are going to attack Bombay, 2 hotels in Bombay. And their longitude, next day the longitude and latitude had changed. So they gave the change longitude and latitude.
Correct.
And by them it has reached about 29 kilometers. What is that called? Nautical kilometers.
Nautical kilometers.
Miles they call it.
Miles, yes.
Nautical miles from Karachi. All this information was given. What happened after that in IB, I don't know. My guess is that this information naturally should go to the Prime Minister.
Absolutely. Yes.
The IB chief cannot directly approach the Prime Minister. So my guess, this is my guess,
Yeah.
he must have approached that person who is between IB and the Prime Minister. When I said the most important person who was holding position, that was the person.
So that is your hunch, or that is your
That is
wide
my
surmise.
hunch. That is my hunch.
That is your wide surmise. Correct?
So then that person decided, because he was a Brahmin
Okay.
and he was knowing what Karkare was doing.
Okay.
He was doing because when Karkare was called to the Prime Minister's office to explain what he has disclosed in the investigation, so this person was present with the Prime Minister. He saw whatever evidence Karkare had collected. Then Prime Minister told that person, that officer, कि now I am convinced, now take him to Mr. L.K. Advani and let him be convinced.
Correct.
So that officer took Karkare to Advani. He gave presentation to Advani ji. Advani was equally convinced.
You meant to say that Advani echoed with the views. Mr. Advani echoed with the views.
He called with the views means he agreed with the investigation.
That is what I say.
Yes, yes.
And then,
Then, so that person, he knew whatever Karkare had collected, and he knew that keeping Karkare alive was very dangerous for his community, for the whole system that is working. So the only way out was to kill Karkare. How to Karkare? In the meantime, this information came of Pakistan's attack. My guess is he took advantage of that and decided not to share this information with Mumbai police, not to share it with the Western Naval Command, and let that attack take place. He had two
versions.
purposes.
Okay, there were two purposes.
One is to defame the Pakistan in the eyes of international community, and secondly to kill Karkare, taking advantage of this attack.
But
This
Tarak,
was the-
yeah,
this was the-
I got it. Thanks very much. But indeed, there were two other police officers who were equally important, like Mr. Kamte
No,
and Mr. Saliskar.
no, not at all.
Why Mr. Kamte was being killed? I mean, his wife was, she wept buckets.
That
And-
I am telling. They were only the co-travelers of Karkare.
Okay.
Whoever would have been his co-traveler would have been killed.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then their wives have expressed, they have said no comments on Mr. S.M. Mushrif's book. Why did they say?
Because they know this is a fact. The only thing is to suppress it.
Are you brutally frank and frankly brutal? Sometimes should I say that?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me
I have told you everything. So
absolutely.
So when this happened, in spite of all this information, when this attack took place, Ra was not aware of these developments.
Oh,
There was a hue and cry in this thing, Allah Gullah in Ra after this attack. They say, how could it happen?
a cacophony.
Huh?
A cacophony.
Cacophony.
Yeah.
When in spite of such a specific information, this took place, how could it happen? That time Shivraj Patil was the Home Minister. He was also shocked. He was also not knowing about this conspiracy of the Brahminist elements and the IB. And he was not knowing that the person in the PM's office was the mastermind. He very naturally ordered an inquiry. In natural course, he ordered an inquiry and deputed the most senior
Senior most.
senior most IAS officer. The senior most IAS, that is the cabinet secretary, is supposed to be the senior most IAS officer.
All right.
So he directed him to make a thorough inquiry and submit me report immediately. That fellow, his name is K.M. Chandrasekhar, he completed the inquiry very honestly and within a short time, and he prepared the report. He was about to submit the report to the Home Minister. This IB fellow got this thing, inkling of this thing, and they thought this is very dangerous. So they created such a scene. The only and then Shivraj Patel had to resign. You know why he was forced to resign?
No, I'm afraid I am not aware of that.
There was a lot of TV news reports saying that this fellow, in spite of this attack, this fellow attended 3-4 functions and changed his suits 5 times.
You mean to say the tuxedos? Five times?
5 times a day, in a day.
Okay.
So there was a lot of criticism. That criticism was also made up criticism,
You mean to say
manipulated
that was
criticism.
all put up?
Yeah, all put up. And
Sorry, that was all put on. That was all put on. That was all a framework. Right.
And he was forced to resign.
Okay.
And so that before that report reached the Home Minister was changed.
So you mean to say it was all fabricated, it was all put on, it was
Yes. Everything.
behind sometimes a placid exterior, there is a very cruel, calculating and cunning face
Yes.
which never comes out. You want to say that?
That is the
Let us take our conversation now on a lighter note.
No, not a lighter note. We have to complete this. You are not allowing me to complete the thing.
Okay, sorry, sir. Go ahead.
So what has happened?
Yeah.
Then next Home Minister was Chidambaram.
Chidambaram.
Before he took over, these IB fellows and the main mastermind, they made that report to disappear.
Is it?
The report was ready. Chandrasekhar's report was ready, but it didn't reach the Prime Minister, it didn't reach the Home Minister. It was made to disappear.
So you mean to say that the two governments did not work on the report? The report disappeared like a goblin?
They never reach these fellows.
That is what I'm saying.
Yeah. So what happened to that report?
Yeah.
Then Indian Express and Tehelka, they somehow through their sources got a copy of the report.
Okay.
Indian Express and Tehelka. So Indian Express in its 3 editions, 11/12/2011 or 8, 15/12/2008 and 26/12/2008, in 3 editions, they publish important points in that report and they claim that we have a copy of this report.
That's great.
So nobody could challenge them. And Tehelka in its edition dated 17/1/2009, next month, published this report. So in the meantime, what had happened? When IB gave this information to, the RAW gave this information to IB, they had some suspicion. So what they did, in addition to this information that they had received from American agency, they gave a list of 35 telephone numbers what the RAW had planted on the elitist terrorists through their sources.
Okay.
So they give the telephone numbers, mobile numbers of those phone numbers to IB. with a note saying कि while coming to India, they are likely to use some of the phone numbers, to please keep all these numbers under observation. That was a natural this thing. But IB later said we forgot to keep it under observation. But fact was that they kept it under observation, and through that they got to know their minute-to-minute program, and that is how they managed the parallel attack synchronizing with this attack.
Yeah.
That is how it happened. Now you wanted to ask me something.
Yes.
Please.
Okay. Now, I'm sorry to being more impertinent. I'm sorry to being, impertinent with you. Sorry to being, because I was a bit harsh on my questions answer session. Mr. Mushrif, you gave me your wonderful time. You have a seraphic smile on your face. Let me take this conversation on a little lighter note by asking about Sri Samir Shah again, your friendship with this man and his informalities with you. We spoke about your tenure. We spoke about that you are a man of great gumption and valor. You are a man who tried to create. You articulated a book on Hemant Karkare. You are not here to appease anyone. You are not here to flag your career as an ex-commissioner, but your body language still says that a cop, a super cop, is always a cop.
Okay.
Thanks very much
Thank
for
you.
giving me such a wonderful information, and you're sharing a wonderful insight on the criminals, the scandals, and Hemant Karkare side.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks very much indeed.